What up, dudes? It's your boy Zach here, coming at you with my top 8 deck profile from this past weekend's PPG tournament. I decided to play Gamma because I've been out of the game for a while, and the deck just kind of does a lot of unfair things still, and I think it has a pretty solid place into the current meta from the limited testing that I had seen. For those of you who don't know, you can't place cards into your energy through effects except through Android effects. Auto draw 1, awaken if you have a Unison specified 2, you untap draw 1, go down to 6, or if you're 4 or less, you untap 1, draw 1, flip it over. This is when it gets spicy, same permanent. And then so when you would play a card from your energy, you ramp the top card of your deck in rest mode, and then at the end of your turn, you pick 3 androids up from your energy. Like, it has to be 3, it's a hard 3. It can't be up to, like, mandatory hard 3. You put them up into your hand, and then you can place up to 3 androids into your energy. So you don't have to. Sometimes, like, you need the extra cards in your hand so you can kind of manipulate things that way. That's the best part about this leader, is basically you have 3 untapped at the end of your turn, and you can do all kinds of crazy cool stuff. So that's it for the leader. Pretty simple. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Unisons out of the way first. I was trying to find an answer for the blue matchups because blue seems to be the hardest deck to beat. Once they stick a bunch of guys on the board, it's hard to get around barrier. And so the -2 of just getting around everything, ignoring barrier, I felt like this card was worth playing as a 1-of, because this just kind of is my out to those, like, pesky boards. And we have a lot of defense, so we can get there pretty quick. I played 2 blue Unison. This card's still just really, really good. Essentially, you're untapping 4. Same logic with the SS3 and all those other blue decks. Card just good. Double strike blocker. Bounce a problem threat. Draw a card. Card's just good. This is like the most important card of the deck. This is what gets all of your combos going. If your opponent doesn't deal with this, it becomes a problem. So auto this card gains a marker on each player's first attack. So there's no plus, it's only -4 is the only effect, but the auto is how you gain your markers. It's a 2-drop Unison, so it qualifies your awakening. The -4 is gain 10k in dual attack, so 25k dual attack. This card also combos with a card from your drop area, mono blue 5k. That's important. And then, so essentially every first attack is basically like 15 to 20k, whether you're offensive or defensive. So usually defensively, it burns your opponent's first attack, and offensively, you usually deal damage or burn through a super combo or a negate, something like that. This card's just really good. And then we get into like the 1-of stuff, like I played the Hatch. There's a little bit of merit to play the Goku, but I don't play a lot of the mono blue stuff. Like, most of mine is, I play like a more mid-range, so I prefer Hatch for the defense. The baby, sometimes you just need the counter. It's just a 1-of. You can't play it on your opponent's turn, but on your turn when you swing in, they do your thing, you do this, game's kind of over. Trunks is also, this is how we beat Floodgates on our turn, and like turn 2, this is technically live still because we haven't used our leader effect. So we play the 1-of that. And the 4 super combos, so I play 1 of the drive-by. Basically, on your opponent's turn, it untaps a multicolor energy, and it's a red ribbon, so it's searchable off of the Ravagers. It's blue-green as well, so it helps with our rival plays. And we play 3 of this blue-green that bottom decks your opponent's card from your opponent's hand. This card's also just really good. Searchable fire, not red ribbon, but it is searchable by another card in the deck. So all the red ribbon stuff. Play 2 Gamma 1s. This card's actually really good. It kind of overperformed. It's essentially just a 20k crit, or it's a cantrip that just, you draw, you combo with it, you know, and kind of just put in your Z energy to allow you to like facilitate these plays later. It also has the limit 1 of playing from your energy, so it's not bad if you charge it. Like, the card's just good. 2 is fine. I don't think you need any more than that. It's not something that like you want to see, but when you do see it, you feel like, oh, and you're kind of like, ooh, piece of candy. Like, this is awesome. And then I get into these guys. So most players are playing 4 of the barrier and 2 of the crit. I favor tempo, so I prefer having the crit as opposed to the barrier. I think the 3/3 split is fine. Both of these have the same effect, and when they're played from your energy, they look at top 5 and place an android, blue android in your energy, and then you can take an energy and put it to the bottom of your deck. So it's how you fix your energy to allow this leader to facilitate and proc all of its effects. Also, these cannot be so they activate in your counter window 1, so your opponent kind of responds, and if it would go to the grave, you don't have to play it, you just tap the energy, and then it doesn't hurt because you can just add it back to your hand and then play it back up. So I prefer the 3/3. 4 of the Floodgate. It's basically Topo, but better. Every time your opponent attacks, they have to bottom deck 2 cards. It's tutorable. We can charge it in our energy early on, add it back. Card's just good. 4 of the Ravager, it's the Searcher. This activate main, pitch it, search top 5 for 5 or less red ribbon, or a 2-drop Unison, specifically named this Unison right here, the Android Unison. So you always want to open with this with the Unison. So you basically pitch this, get the Unison, and then your Unison combos this from your grave for free. So this card is very good. We play 3 of these. I know most of us play 4. Again, this is a best of 1 format, and to be honest, this is probably what I would do going forward anyway, if it was best of 3. I like having options game 1, no matter what. On your opponent's turn, this is basically a 1-drop counterplay. It's a blocker. It bottom decks your opponent's card. It's an android. It's really good. Honestly, though, it didn't come up a lot throughout the tournament. Like, I might have played it like once or twice. The sell. So the argument was for sell, but having access to the sell in the extra deck, the Z deck, is easier and does essentially what this does for you. There's just sometimes, especially against like yellow decks, blue decks, you want to grind them out, and this is how you grind out the matchup. Because you go 30k, you know they're going to negate it, but they're going to waste 2 cards, potentially 3 cards out of their hand, depending on what counter they try to do. And then you kind of just go for the board and pass. So this card's really good. It also, you can play it from your hand, so it doesn't have to come from your energy. It's also important to note. Then we get into all the multicolor stuff. So this is the 2-drop limit 1, play from hand or energy, dual attack, deflect, bottom deck one of your opponent's cards greater than or equal to their energy. Not ignoring barrier. This card's actually really good. It's a check land that ignores energy exhaust because of our leader. It's red ribbon, so we can search it. The card is very, very good. Good tempo play, good Unison killer. And again, this is like your check line. This is what we're picking up at the end of our turn and putting back down. We arrival a lot, so we want to kind of get to 2 of these, preferably. You know, if we can have 3, that's great, but 2's preferred. I played 3 of the other check land, the new Android 18. This card's really good. It's a rival for green, blue, and 1. Critical. When it comes into play, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and 1 card in your opponent's hand and bottom deck both of them. It doesn't get around barrier, but this gets around like the Oolong, the Mira, all kinds of stuff that your opponent's trying to get in. The Vegeta, the Z Vegeta, when they double strike, pump everything into it, and you combo this in and you bottom deck that, get a card out of their hand, and kind of just ends the turn. You can also pitch this from your hand, like the Ravagers, to search a 5-drop blue, 5 or less blue android. And this also ignores your energy exhaust, so this is a check line that just comes in as a blue-green. I played 316. This is kind of like MVP. So when you play it or you combo with it, your opponent discards a card from their hand. It's revenge blocker. It's dual attack. Um, it's an android, so like if it gets charged off the top of your deck, or if you play a 17, you can charge this, add it to your hand, replace it with something different. Card's really good. Wins a lot of games. That's all for the battle cards. Like it's like the little bit of the extra cards that we have here. So we played 2 of the counter negates, the token negates, whatever you want to call them. Ideally, you want to like you put yourself to 6, and it's kind of hard. Sometimes you stay at 6 for a long time, but you can put yourself to 5 with your Vegeta. And this is live. This is really good against red. I was playing 1, but because it's best of 1 and there was red in the format, we needed to play 2. I played 2 Bean. I was already playing 2 Bean because I don't think the deck needs it. I just like the extra security. Having like the errata that happened to this isn't that bad. Most decks use it defensively anyway. It's not like we're playing Storm or anything like that. Bean is just Bean. It's good against the weenie decks. 2 Dirty Burst. I contemplated a 3rd one for the event, but I ended up going with the third Beerus Ball instead, or Beerus Destroys. This card really good into like Brawly Crown. Like you do this and their turn's basically over. It's also just like a 1-drop counter attack if need be. We played 3 Beerus. This card's really good into like Red and KP, the Gohan deck, or not the Gohan, the Goku, the Ape deck. This card's really good into that too. It's basically just like a 10k that gets another thing off the board. I've never used it offensively. You can go ahead and cut 1. Like I could see favor 3rd Dirty Burst instead. But that's it. That's for the main board. The main board was 55. And the Z deck is the token, the Vegeta to help us go to 5 when we need to activate our chilled Frieza. So most of our cards are green, like our attacking cards are green. So when you attack, you can like get another card out of their hand with this, and then swing this into a Unison for like double strike. It's pretty good. This is a 1-drop crit. It's essentially board removal too, but it also, if you don't have a Z energy to pitch for the effect, the auto won't resolve and it'll just stay on the board. That's something to note as well if you just need to kind of keep a body on the board. It's also facilitates discard draw 1. We played 1 of the Vegetos. I only played it like twice, but essentially when you play this card, you feel like it's a win more card. You get this card out and you kind of just feel like you're just not losing the game anyway. And then like the MVP of the extra deck is just the 3 cell. This card is so good. It clears the board basically. Excuse me. It clears the board basically. Has deflect. It's crit. It's 25k. Swings twice basically. Like it sucks up your opponent's board. They never have force. The effect like hardly activates, but I guess in theory it could. It sucks it up, and then like your activate main, you pitch all that, you restand it. So it's 25k dual attack crit basically. This card just creates so much pressure. So much pressure. Now that's it for the deck that I played over the weekend. I guess to touch up on some matchups real quick. I ended up 5-2. I was 5-0. And I lost to Thomas, the guy who won the whole thing. He, like, yeah, man, he opened up cracked. It was definitely his day, you know, props to him. And then my last round, I lost to Justin, the guy who got second. His Gotenk stack, I whiffed seeing Unison for like 3 turns, and he was just able to outgrind me. I wasn't playing Yellow Apes for the event because I didn't think I would see a lot of like hand discard. So it was kind of hard for me to recover. You know, props to him for playing Gotenks. The deck was dope. The AOD that got 4th, I also played him. His deck profile video when he goes over our match is a little misconstrued. But, you know, I didn't think there was anything going on. He apparently did. I ended up winning in time. But you know, I love AOD. That's my deck. If you guys know me, like I've played AOD for a long time, so I was like really excited to play him. And then he was doing some weird combo stuff. Like he would attack with the Vegeta and would combo, but automatically put it to his Z energy. So he was like, oh, 20. When I was doing the math, I was like, where'd the 5K come from? It's all on the VOD. But you know, shout outs to him. He went X1. Overall, the tournament was ran pretty smooth. Round 1 was Red Sin. Round 2 was Gogeta. Round 3 was a Zamasu, the dual attack Zamasu. Round 4 was AOD. Round 5 was I forgot his name. I want to say it's the guy who got 9th. He was playing the yellow Goku, the Ape Coup. And then round 6 I played the Red Sand. Round 7 I played Gotenks. Overall, moving forward, deck's still good. Definitely give it a shot. Other than that, you know, there's not a whole lot to say. You know, shout out to the dudes, my guys, for giving me some last minute pointers. And shout out to my testing group. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next time.